What's up, everybody? It's your local hero player. It's the player of heroes from Joburg. It is going to be time for the deck profile, as promised. And your presenter for today is none other than HERO-Nero! Well, without wasting any time, let's get into it. As said, I'm doing the deck profile for the hero deck I used at Comic Con. It is a 60 card hero build. And yes, I know everyone's like, oh no, 60 cards, what the hell are you thinking? Just bear with me, you'll see in a moment how I actually decide to run this. So, we started off with the staples, Triple Stratos, because like we all know, he's the best searcher, he's your go-to main play. Especially with this build that I've did, as you'll see as we get further into it. Double Shadow Mist. And we introduced the Double Spirit of Neos. He is essentially the best hand trap for the deck to run. I mean, that really, if you end up with a brick hand and he's in that opening hand, boss turn, they attack, special summon himself in defense, can't be a short battle, and you get that search, which is just your extender for the next turn. And obviously you need the tag out targets for him, so we run double Elemental HERO-Neros. It's not too bad having the vanilla beat stick back in the field. But then we've also got the one Liquid Soldier. I'm just using Bubbleman's attack because I don't have my Liquid Soldier with me at the moment. And then the highly debated Evil package, so with Evil Hero Dusted Gold. It actually, having a Dusted in there is really good with the hero builds, especially helps you add him to hand after you set up with your full combo, and then you attempt to end the battle phase. So if they nub you, a Dusted Gold is still there to put a body on field and still do damage. So he's actually really good. I don't care what anybody says, a Dusted Gold's good in the deck, especially with how the current meta and format's going now. And then also we run Triple Ferris, double increase. Again, I don't care what people say, just run one. He's a brick in your hand. Exactly that. He's a brick in your hand. If you open the one, you're screwed. You're done. The whole Vision Hero package is gone. So that's why I run two. It's just better to have it. So you open the one. You know what? You don't care. If you open one Ferris, you use the Ferris, discard the one effect, get search a second. You can still pop off with the whole Vision package. And then two Vions as well. So I know people don't like the whole double increase, always run single. Nah, to me, you always run two. And then obviously, since we're running the Vision package, you have to incorporate the Destiny Hero. So the double Malicious, one Denier, one Plasma. And then we also included the Triple Cross Keeper, because he was also really good. Like, especially if you open him and Spirit of Neos in hand, in your opening hand. Yeah, you open the two of them in your opening hand, discard special, and you just pop with his effect, you add, and you just keep freaking going off with your combos. So Triple Cross Keeper was really good for the opening hands, but he was also good for the extended plays with the fusions when you banish himself from the grave for draw two, place into one on the deck. Cross Keeper was actually really good on the day. Definitely something to keep in the hero decks going forward. And then to round out the monsters, we had the one Grand Mole, one Aqua Dolphin, one Dark Panther, and Triple Ash Blossom. The whole reason behind this, we all know the whole reason behind Ash, so that's actually not really worth getting into, but behind the Neospatians, just running one of each here. It's obviously going off of Nebula and Cosmo. It's just the ideal cards to have for trying to skip your opponent's turn, essentially. But you'll see that again as we go through further with the video. And moving on to the spell cards, we had Triple Hero Lives, because I mean it's at 3, so we ran 3. I mean, why not? It's our searcher. Triple Engage Neospace. This card is also such a blessing. It really helped play out of any brick hands that we also had. I mean, you just send a Elemental Hero in a Neospatian, one from the hand, one from the deck, as cast to the graveyard. And then you summon your Spur Neos from deck and add polymerization simultaneously. This card it's really good. You really can actually not afford not to play it. And Triple E Emergency Call. And as you saw, we had the Neos Patience. That's because we're also running triple Neos Fusion. It's okay, yes, sure, I know we're running Neos Fusion along with, you know, the Destiny heroes. It kind of counteracts itself, you know, especially since we're still running 2 Fusion Destiny. But you know what, it actually worked out. So, yeah, sure, we activate Fusion Destiny, we didn't have a Neos Fusion target in that same turn. But, you know, to be honest, I actually didn't use Fusion Destiny so much on the day. It was, yeah, anytime I needed Fusion Destiny, I always just hard fusioned into it. So Neos Fusion was still alive and it enabled us to go through with the next plays. But I mean, like I said, we hard fusion to pretty much everything that we needed to off of Fusion Destiny. So yeah, double polymerization. You can't go wrong there. And we got double mass change. And including that, we got the 1 instant contact and the 1 miracle fusion. I mean, instant contact also helped with the plays for the day. It was actually one of my highlights from the day was with instant contact versus a Fluanderese player. They put barrier statue on their field and like, okay, no, that's cool, activate instant contact. And they're like, no, but you can't, you can only summon wind monsters. And I told them, yes, I know you can only summon wind. And then, boom, whip out the Flame Wingman. Oh look, it's a wind. And Neos was already engraved at that time, so it's like, okay, cool, attack over your damn statue with 2-1. Yeah, that was actually a good that was a good moment there. They thought they had me locked out, but I still had it out to their problem. Yeah, instant contact actually helped, especially against the Fluanderese players. It helped extend into our big boy of the new format. But then, because we had the evil hero Dust of Gold, we got the Dark Calling. And then we run, you know, the staples. 1 Rota, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Harpies, and the 1 Called by the Grave. They're pretty self-explanatory, there's no need to go into that. I mean, we all know why these cards are being run. And then since I don't have any Forbidden Droplets, I opted to use triple Infinite Impermanence. Like I said, they're my replacements for Droplets. And then at the same time, add in one of the favorite contacts. This favorite contact was also a nice clutch card. It was the key piece in the combo when you were going first to help set up Cosmo Neos and just stop your opponent from playing for the turn. And then they said either set a monster in end or, you know, just pass turn strap, in which case you proceed to OTK them. Okay, that does it for the main deck. And we get into the extra deck. For the elemental heroes, we're running 1 Absolute Zero, 1 The Shining, 1 Sunrise, our instant contact target elemental hero Flame Wingman, and like I said, our big boy of the format, Shining Neos Wingman. Because again, like I said, that was just the nice plays. Instant contact Flame Wingman. By that time, I had Sunrise on the field as well, so you either had the Miracle Fusion in hand or Neos was still on field, in which case you just fusion the 2 of them off into our big boy. The unnecessarily large beat stick. I mean, the fact that this dude gains 300 attack for every hero in your grave is just ridiculous. But no way, actually no, it's not even every hero, it's every monster. So that just made him even more potent. Because I mean, literally, you think about it, by the time you get him out, if you work on bare minimum, say you got 3 monsters in grave, the bare minimum, that's already a 4,000 beat stick that can't be destroyed by card effects. I mean, it's insane, it really is. This card is way too strong. But then, of course, we've also got our very own MVP, Destiny of Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, the evil hero Malicious Bane. Like I said, if we get nibbed, we summon Malicious Bane after that, so we still have a nice body on board, and they can't just OTK us. And jumped into the Master Heroes, we got the Dark Law and the Acid as well. Yeah, I know I probably should have been running 2 Dark Laws, but With how this build went, I didn't actually use Mask Change that often. Mask Change ended up being a card that was just there to dodge any targets. So yeah, Mask Change actually didn't come up very often during Comic-Con. It was a card that was one of those, take it or leave it, it doesn't really matter. But like I said, that's just how this whole deck went on the day. I have revised the deck now. And then to finish off with the extra deck, we've got the Brave Neos, the Nebula Neos, and as I said, Cosmo Neos. Just skip your opponent's turn. Now the whole idea behind those was we'd go through our entire combo. We'd end the turn with activating Neos Fusion, summon Brave Neos by ditching, Neos, and it all depends on what your hand and Gravery look like, but it's either sending the Cross Keeper as the effect monster or the Aqua Dolphin. But you'll see now, because then to finish off the extra deck, we had the one Cross Crusader, the one Wonder Driver, and the one Infernal Divisor. Because like I was saying, it all depends on how your handing graveyard looked at the moment. Because the typical play, if you don't have any of them in hand with the Neospatians, you would get your Link Summon going into Infernal Divisor. From Divisor there, you'd reveal your Nebula Neos to add your Grand Mole and Dark Panther to hand. Activate Neos Fusion, send Neos and Aqua Dolphin to grave to summon Brave Neos. The summoning Brave Neos, that was just so we could get the materials into grave. Because by the time we went through the whole combo, we had favorite contacts in hand already, so we'd set that favorite contact, and during the opponent's turn activate the contact, then shuffle the Neos and the Aqua Dolphin from grave, as well as the Grand Mole and Dark Panther was in hand, back to deck, and to summon Cosmo Neos, because he requires all four of those specific monsters. He used to be a hard card to bring out, but now with favorite contact, it's a lot easier to bring him out, so he's actually a damn good card to run. Because as soon as he's summoned, you activate his effect. Your opponent can't activate cards or effects for the turn or in response to his activation. So it's literally you favorite contact, summon him, activate effect. You got a 35 beat stick on the field that just says you will not play this turn, so your opponent has no choice but to, like you said, set a monster and or just pass turn end. Either which way, you were set to just OTK them from there. This was always my going first combo. The whole import that you wanted when going first was to make sure you got favorite contacts face down, and then during their standby phase, activate the contact, summon the Cosmo Neos, and just shut them down for a turn. Because Cosmos is really, really broken. Like I say, it's 3500 and he just doesn't let your opponent play. It's too much, it really is. But then also because we used favorite contact, it doesn't bounce at the end of the turn. So that was the upside to bring him out like that. You don't go through all that trouble to summon a monster that's there for one turn. Favorite contact literally kept him on field. Okay, but then just to jump into the side deck, I was running the one Dark Angel. Yeah, in retrospect, it should have been in the main deck, but like I said, that was my whole going first end board was Cosmo Neos. But Dark Angel was there for if I needed to adjust the gameplay. Running 2 Ghostbound Haunted Mansions, since everything relies off of the grave now and moving cards through the grave. So Bell actually put in a lot of work on the day from the side, as well as DD Crow. And then from there, our super poly targets was the one Garura, and just in case I needed to remove something else out because they kept targeting my straws and didn't have the mask change. Well, I had the mask change but didn't have the target, so Master Hero Blast was in the side. Again, this was just to make space for everything that was in the extra deck, but I kept him in the side deck, and anytime I started him in, I did use him. So Blast is still damn good. As I mentioned, Garura was our super poly target, so we had the 2 super polys as well. Because I mean, with the super poly and Garura, we can either take the stuff from our field or our opponent's field. Because we just need 2 monsters of the same type and attributes, and like we've seen, heroes have no problems crapping out a board. They have 2 monsters of the same type and attributes, and with how most of the decks were, they didn't have a problem doing that either. But then we also ran the 2 Twin Twisters, 2 Dark Ruler No Mores, and arguably the trap that did the most work on the day for me, the Summon Limit. The Summon Limit was actually really fun. You know, go first. If I, for some reason, couldn't set up the Cosmoneers to negate their turn, essentially, and I was lucky enough to have Summon Limit in hand. Summon Limit was just, like I said, it was the most used card of the day for me, because, you know, activate it on their second summon, and then it's like, oh crap, okay, now they can't summon anything else anymore. It killed the Floowandereeze players, it killed the Sprites, it killed the Drytrons, it literally every single deck I versed, Summon Limit was there, and it just shut them down after that second summon. It's like, okay, now they can't do anything. So they had no choice but to end turn, came back to me, and then proceeded to deal the heavy damage that was required. Summon Limit good. Do not sleep on Summon Limit. If you got Summon Limits, use them. Especially with considering the fact that now Red Reboot's been banned, trap decks are going to be running everywhere else evermore. So Summon Limit is a must if you ask me. Definitely use the Summon Limit. Put in a lot of work and it shuts down decks so effectively. But yeah, that will do it for today then, guys. I know the video was a little bit longer, but like I said, we just had to get the deck profile in that I promised to show you guys for how my Comic Con deck went. So as you see, went through everything, 60 cards. It was pure Hero, it was Neospatian. It was my way of testing how to run the deck going forward. So that's why I was running 60 cards. A whole 60 card engine, just to figure out how to build the deck going forward. And thanks to Comic Con, even though I was running 60 cards here, I mean, I placed 12th out of the 44 players that participated. So 60 card hero deck that was still being tested, placing that high up. It was actually, we did pretty damn well with it. But after doing that whole placement, we now know how to build this deck going forward. For if we want to play pure or omni. And you know, it's still, whether you play pure heroes or omni heroes, they're still both viable options with their own advantages. But for the moment, I think that's going to do it for today, because like I said, 60 card heroes, it showed me how to build the deck forward. So my next deck profile will be showcasing exactly how the deck has been reconstructed, recalibrated, and re-amplified, essentially, to basically be the best rogue deck of the format. I know heroes ain't going to be meta again, so that's why I'll settle for making them the best rogue deck. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be doing another deck profile soon enough of my hero deck as it is at the moment, as well as a combo tutorial for those heroes. Until then, that's today's video, done and dusted, and just remember, just to keep Ragnarocking it.